Hello and welcome back to the Nexus Gaming Series. I am Crushinator. I am here casting for you today a match between Feigned Competence and Caffeinated Knights. We are just getting into the lobby here, and as we do, I'll let you know a little bit about our teams tonight. We are casting Division B West. Feigned Competence coming into tonight with a match record of 1-2 and a map record of 2-4. So far, their map picks this season have been Volskaya Foundry, Dragonshire, and Braxis Holdout. Their most picked hero right now is Greymane at 4 games, and they are consistently banning Sylvanas and Deathwing. Sylvanas with 4 game bans, and Deathwing at 3 thus far. Caffeinated Knights coming into tonight undefeated on maps undefeated in the matches at 3-0. They boast a map record of 6-1. So far, they have chosen Cursed Hollow, Alterac Pass, Towers of Doom, and Dragonshire, so very nice spread of different maps here coming out from Caffeinated Knights. Their most picked hero is also Greymane at 5 games played, so we're going to see a bit of a battle for which team is going to end up with the Greymane in this series. And they have banned out a pretty healthy spread of heroes, with Kael'thas coming in with 2 bans, ETC with 2, Johanna with 2. Really a wide spread of different heroes banned coming out from Caffeinated Knights. Hope you're having an excellent evening. We are just getting into the lobby here. Looks like everything is all set. We're still a little bit early, so we're going to make sure the teams are ready to go. If not, we can wait for the 8 p.m. start. We're going to check our bot commands. There we go. That should be good. All good there. Keep forgetting to set those up. Checking in with our 2 teams. Looks like Feigned Competence getting ready to go here, as we're getting very close to draft time. Alright, both teams saying that they are ready, so we'll get this draft going in a second. All right. And here we go.
Towers.
Let's get into it. So, Towers of Doom is our first map here in this series. If we want to take a look at how we got to this point, let's bring up the maps here. The map bans coming out from Feigned Competence were Dragonshire and Volskaya Foundry, where Caffeinated Knights came in with the Braxis Holdout and Tomb of the Spider Queen bans, and it was Feigned Competence that took us to Towers of Doom. So, let's get back into the draft here. We have a Falstad ban coming out from Caffeinated Knights to start us off, and a good strong global hero here on Towers of Doom. And we're going to have the Zool ban from Feigned Competence. I guess they're worried about that strong wave clear, that double soak here on Towers of Doom that is all too popular of a strategy. For choking out globals on the side of Caffeinated Knights, let's see, they're going to just ban out the Johanna, just probably the strongest tank we have in the meta right now. Very strong with the wave clear rotations here on Towers of Doom and just making sure that a team does not get behind, get rid of that Johanna. Let's see what Feigned Competence has in response. It's going to be the Leoric band, another very strong double soaker here on Towers of Doom. So it looks like Feigned Competence wants to control that rotation from the top and the mid. And we have first pick ready to come out from Caffeinated Knights. Let's see what they're going to do with that choice. They may want to control that Greymane, as that is something that they've wanted to pick so far. They are going to take the Sylvanas. They want to be able to turn off those towers and dive and get those kills. Very powerful in the bottom lane. Good control there. Feigned Competence does get that Greymane in response. So that's a pick both teams were definitely gunning for, but Feigned Competence will take the opportunity to grab him right off the bat. We'll see what they want to pair with that Greymane. It's going to be an Anduin. Anduin, very strong healer overall. Great saves with that Leap of Faith. Hard to go wrong there. Now with Johanna off the board and no tank chosen by Feigned Competence, we're going to see the ETC come out from Caffeinated Knights, and we may see a bit of a tank choke as we're going into the ban phase right after this pick. It will be the Malthael. Malthael alongside Leoric, probably two of the most well-known double soakers here on Towers of Doom. With Leoric off the board, it's going to be interesting to see what Feigned Competence will do to answer this draft. See what their band selection is going to be with Sylvanas, ETC, and Malthael already selected. It's going to be a Stukov ban, an interesting choice. I don't recall seeing Stukov high on the list of heroes played for Caffeinated Knights, but perhaps they've done some scouting that I didn't and are worried about that Stukov ETC combination. And it'll be a tank choke coming out with the Garrosh band, leaving Feigned Competence with not as many options in the tank spot. We'll see what they choose. Mal'Ganis is still on the board. That is a powerful pick here on Towers of Doom. But let's see what they want to come up with here. With Greymane, they've got good control over the camps. They're going to need a PvP assassin. They will be the Mal'Ganis, and they're going to take a Kerrigan, a very aggressive approach into the ETC Sylvanas they're looking at in the bottom lane. And that Stukov band looking all the better now if they're going to be having a frontline melee assassin in Kerrigan. We're going to see Caffeinated Knights filling out the remainder of their composition. They need that healer spot, and it looks like they probably need a burst. I wouldn't be surprised to see Jaina come out. Let's see what they choose. It's going to be Li Ming and Ana, a very potent combination, with Li Ming being able to basically cast unlimited with that ult from Ana. So they're going for heavy siege here with Sylvanas, Li Ming. They want to make sure that they control that siege damage. Whereas Feigned Competence going for more of a setup and blow them down comp with the Mal'Ganis, following up with Kerrigan Greymane. Let's see how they round out this composition. It's going to be a Rexxar to answer the Malthael. Rexxar will be able to soak fairly safely versus Malthael. So a nice pickup there. Caffeinated Knights will probably have to commit some resources if they want to pressure that Rexxar out of lane, as Malthael won't be able to do it themselves. So, the draft is done. Let's get into today's game. Here we go. Alright, we're just loading into the map here. Once again, couple seconds off on that transition.
Prepare yourself for battle, heroes.
Alright, On the left side, we have Feigned Competence with Jonah Fencer on the Rexar. Captain Squiddy will be on the Anduin, Beaver Hunter on the Mal'Ganis, Chef Steve on the Greymane, and Hyperbole playing the Kerrigan. Over here for Caffeinated Knights, the red team, Saiyan CP9 will be on Malthael, Harborim will be on Ana, Osmanthus on ETC, Favanche on Li Ming, and Ark will be playing the Sylvanas as they go looking for a Sylvanas cheese onto the bottom tower here. Let's see if Feigned Competence sniffs that out. Looks like they're going to be floating between lanes. They want to get some vision on the red team. They're not seeing anybody yet. Here they come. Li Ming's siege coming onto that bottom tower, but it looks like they're going to back out as they see Feigned Competence coming down to stop that cheese. Very well done by them. Rexar and Malthael will battle it out in the mid lane as our 4 versus 4 goes straight into the bottom for the first wave. Hyperbole gets slid on by Osmanthus. Looks like Kerrigan might be in a little bit of trouble here, but advances onto Ark. Very nicely done. Ark's in a bit of trouble, and Sylvanas is going to get taken down for first blood. Very well done here by Feigned Competence, turning on that ETC slide. Meanwhile, Malthael and Rexar are going to battle it out here in the top lane. Malthael, before getting that extra healing on Q, might have a bit of trouble versus that kill pressure coming out from Rexar. Greymane is going to start that left camp right away, as Caffeinated Knights now starting to work on controlling their camp. Osmanthus coming over here, possibly to interrupt this, but it's going to be Mal'Ganis warding him away, and Feigned Competence will pick up their camp quickly. But not far behind is Caffeinated Knights. Looks like we've got a small experience lead for Feigned Competence for now, but that'll be quickly caught up on as the waves crash into the wall here on the bottom lane. Sylvanas shutting down those minions is actually quite a big deal. They're going to save their wall here. Very nicely played. They will actually save all but one of those sappers from crashing into the turrets. A nice use of that trait coming out from Ark. So now it's going to be Feigned Competence that has to find the answer to this camp as it pushes onto their wall. Level 4 coming in for both teams. Can they get the clear before the sappers approach the wall? It looks like Li Ming is pressuring them out, and all 3 sappers will land, and that wall is all but taken down. Very nicely done. Kerrigan had to go up to the middle lane to make sure that soak was captured and maintain their experience lead. So far the team's just poking at each other after that initial brawl. Superior wave clear looks like it's on Caffeinated Knight's side as Beaver Hunter and Kerrigan go in for the dive. Ark in a little bit of trouble, but manages to haunting wave out, turning on Hyperbole, and there goes Kerrigan. As they didn't quite get the kill they wanted, they're going to have to start backing away. Nice route by Anduin. Stops Osmanthus from sliding onto that backline, but Beaver Hunter in a little bit of trouble. Looks like Chef Steve is going to try to eat some damage, and they get on out of there safely. But Caffeinated Knights controlling that bottom lane. Rexar not on top of the left altar just yet. Malthael picks that up quickly. So we're going to have 2 altars towards Caffeinated Knights. Let's see if Malthael can get over here for the interrupt. Misha looking to stop Malthael. And Malthael actually does get the interrupt here, but the rest of Caffeinated Knights choosing to push in the bottom lane as they see Feigned Competence going up for that Malthael kill. This is a very quick bottom tower capture for Caffeinated Knights as they move on Captain Squiddy, who's in trouble versus Favanche. And they will be taking down, wow, a super fast bottom tower here on Towers of Doom. How Kerrigan is a bunch of trouble. Kerrigan gets picked off. A nice slide by Osmanthus and Favanche, showing that Li Ming power. So that'll be a level 7 advantage for the meantime. Caffeinated Knights looking to invade this camp. Not a whole lot that Feigned Competence can do at this point. They're going to have to just give that up and defend these sappers as they come towards that tower line. Sylvanas going back to solo their own sapper camp, and Caffeinated Knights looking to guard this tower as they will be looking to for the rest of the game here. If they can hold this, that's a huge advantage on their side. Osmanthus sliding in, getting Greymane, countering the Mal'Ganis sleep is on a sleep of her own, so the Feigned Competence team will not get the engage they're looking for. Kerrigan diving in. Sleep misses. Fortunately, Kerrigan missing the combo there. Beaver Hunter's going to have to be careful. He's getting chased down by Mal'Ganis. Vivanche can't quite get the combo, and Mal'Ganis will escape with his life for now. ETC actually getting caught in the tower range, but has enough armor and help from Ana to stay alive. Meanwhile, Mal'Ganis soaking versus Rexxar up here. We've got a double top altar spawn, and Feigned Competence is going to have to commit to that top altar, as they're not getting anything done in that bottom lane here. Hyperbole looking for a possible gank onto Malthael, and here they come. We got this, didn't quite get the stun. It'll be Greymane diving on there, and Saiyan actually gets rooted. In a lot of trouble here. Both teams take their respective altars, and Saiyan is actually going to slip away. Very nicely done there to avoid most of the damage coming out. But Captain Squiddy actually gets turned upon there and destroyed by Li Ming. I can't believe Malthael actually got out of that. Very nicely done. Using that W to swap around and avoid the damage coming out from Feigned Competence. Meanwhile, Kerrigan is working on the bottom lane, hopefully to take that tower back before Caffeinated Knights rotates back down. But they're going to work on that mid wall, softening this up for a possible 6-cap later in the game. That's one thing Malthael does have trouble with on this map, is gaining any siege damage potential in that top lane. But it looks like he will be working on this top camp in the hopes of doing just that. Meanwhile, Mal'Ganis getting blown up by the ETC boop down here in the bottom. Arc doing a good job of putting a lot of that negative armor on that Mal'Ganis. Caffeinated Knights just really controlling this map very well at 33 shots to 24. Meanwhile, Malthael trying to bully out Rexxar best they can. Caffeinated Knights looking to take this Sapper camp. And Feigned Competence is going to have to make something happen here, because they are in a state of arrested development, not getting a lot done in this bottom lane, but really unable to leave. The attempt onto Osmanthus does not trigger. The Ultralux chewing on Arc for a little bit before being taken down, as Kerrigan has to back. Merc Queen is actually pushing these sappers in. One gets across the line. They're going to have to clear this wave as Feigned Competence once again trying to come up possibly for this Malthael. Nope, they're just going to come around here for the altar, try and engage from the other direction. Mal'Ganis going on to Sylvanas, but no follow-up is there just yet. A big sleep, and actually a Rexxar ult comes out here. Arc's in a bit of trouble. Hyperbole waiting for him, and Arc gets taken down. They're going to actually take down ETC for the trouble. And 2 kills for the sign of Feigned Competence. A nice rotation coming through mid. But they're going to have trouble going onto this tower, as it does belong to Caffeinated Knights. Chef Steve taking a lot of damage. Beaver Hunter getting targeted by that as well. Harbor him using that tower to actually get that Mal'Ganis kill. Hit the sleep. Is laying down the spray as the tower also takes down Greymane. That was some very nice shimmying and shaking coming out from the Ana. So nice pair of kills from Feigned Competence, but overall did not convert to much. It'll be Caffeinated Knights working on their Sapper camp. Getting that pushing down, making sure that Feigned Competence is stuck here in the bottom lane with a tower that is now at half health, so they may have an opportunity to poke this out, though their team is really not built for this poke damage, and Captain Squiddy gets absolutely obliterated by Li Ming. Hyperbole is not far behind, going down there. Vivanche in a bit of trouble, manages to blink out with that Ana nano boost. The orb accidentally hitting a minion, letting Mal'Ganis get away, but Rexxar will not survive. Actually dying to Malthael in the mid lane there. That's 4 dead on the sign of Feigned Competence. Caffeinated Knights is going to start moving towards that mid fort with a bottom altar spawn. It looks like Feigned Competence might have to go straight down to the bottom tower to make sure that they don't get 6-capped here. Caffeinated Knights not going for the 6-cap just yet, but Malthael is still working on this camp, softening up this fort. Caffeinated Knights wants to make sure that they protect this bottom tower. Right now, just a 2v4 defense, and it looks like Feigned Competence going to take this tower back for the meantime, giving them some space but it will be Caffeinated Knights converting that altar still for 5 shots, putting the tower health down to 13 points. Malthael using that last rites on the Misha to get some extra stacks on that quest. That is a tough matchup for the Misha there, since the burst healing from Rexar is not quite enough to deal with that damage coming out from Malthael. Malthael looking to ward away Chef Steve and Captain Squiddy in the mid lane as Caffeinated Knights does reclaim the bottom tower. But Feigned Competence does have some free time to damage down this tower. They will take this back. In the meantime, Osmanthus looking to come in, but Mal'Ganis stopping them until the tower is taken. Vivanche being engaged upon, but the Kerrigan combo misses. Harbrim's going to get out. Mal'Ganis in a bit of trouble here. Manages to pop the ult to stay alive. Jonah Fencer, though, gets blown up by Sylvanas, and Beaver Hunter will escape. The nano-boosted Li Ming, just a lot to handle in this situation. They're going to work on sieging down that mid tower, but more importantly, making sure this bottom tower does not go over to Feigned Competence. As Manthus, rotating on Beaver Hunter, manages to get the stun before the sleep goes out, and there goes Mal'Ganis. Very nice timing on that. I know many times when I play ETC, I slide a second late, I run into those outstretched hands, and it's a sleep for me and not a stun. Arc working on that sapper camp, as Malthael looking to possibly poke out that top left. Feigned Competence will have to defend at least one of these if they want to remain in this match. Caffeinated Knights positioning aggressively, knowing that Sylvanas is going to have the bottom cap. Actually, Sylvanas is weighing their options, where Hyperbole might be in a bit of trouble here. And Kerrigan gets blown up once again. Jonah Fencer getting destroyed by the Li Ming as well. The reset's coming in handy. Sylvanas gets the right side tap, and it looks like this game might be over as quickly as it started at the 12-minute mark, as Caffeinated Knights works on the top left altar. Sylvanas working on the bottom altar, and that is going to be that. Very nicely done. Real clinic coming out from Caffeinated Knights. A 30-0 victory here on Towers of Doom. And if we look at the tail of the tape, 16 kills to 4 that game. We did see a little bit of a turnaround from Feigned Competence in the middle, but in the end, that Li Ming damage just too much to handle, especially with that Ana ult on the back of it. Very nicely done. Okay, wow. What a game. Let's message the captain of Feigned Competence as I go and remind myself who I am. Here we go, Epidity. Let's find them here. NGS, Epidity. I don't see them in... Oh, Hyperbole. That's their in-game name. Whisper. Would you like map pick or first pick? Oh. Looks like the teams are figuring it out for themselves. Let me come in here and update the score. There we go. Looks like we're going to Infernal Shrines. Map pick by Caffeinated Knights. Infernal Shrines picked by Red. There we go. Okay. Just confirm that, make sure I'm correct in my assumption. Perfect. All right. All right, a very quick game number one. So Feigned Competence ended up choosing first pick for this second game. Caffeinated Knights are going to take us to Infernal Shrines as the teams prepare here for game number 2. Once they say they're ready, we'll be able to start right up. Get some water here. Hope everyone in chat is having a good day here today. Enjoying this match here. Mentioned that I am ready to go. Looks like Feigned Competence is showing as ready. Just waiting on Caffeinated Knights to say they're ready, and then we can begin. And here they go. Alright, starting it up. Okay, and here we go.
Infernal Shrine!
Heading into Infernal Shrines here. Welcome to Game 2 of this series between Feigned Competence and Caffeinated Knights. Before we get to the draft, let's take a look at the maps to see how we got to the point we got to now. The map bans to start this series. It was Feigned Competence banning out Dragonshire and Volskaya Foundry. It was Caffeinated Knights banning out Braxis Holdout and Tomb of the Spider Queen. Our first match was picked by Feigned Competence. We went to Towers of Doom, where Caffeinated Knights took the victory. Here in Game 2, Feigned Competence chose first pick, so Caffeinated Knights took us to Infernal Shrines. Let's get back to the draft here in game number 2. We see Feigned Competence has banned out the Zool. And Caffeinated Knights will ban out Kael'thas, a very strong map pick here on Infernal Shrines. Looks like some just nice meta bans coming out from our two B West teams here today. See if we get any respect bans coming out from either team in this draft. Feigned Competence is going to ban out that ETC. That, you could say that's a respect ban right there. That ETC really did tear them apart on that last Towers of Doom map. Very nicely done there, and it will be the Johanna ban. It looks like they don't want to be caught with just one and not the other over on the side of Caffeinated Knights. We'll see if it'll be that Greymane first pick that they're so comfortable with. No, they're actually going to pick away the Ana from Caffeinated Knights that was instrumental in that Towers of Doom victory. So it looks like they want to set Caffeinated Knights off on a different foot with this game. Now it will be Caffeinated Knights with the Greymane pick. Both teams showing that this is their favorite hero. Greymane switching sides from blue to red for this game number 2. And actually picking Anduin. It looks like they're both counter-picking each other. They want to both set each other on different paths, meaning Caffeinated Knights still respecting the power coming out from Feigned Competence, making sure that they don't get those picks that they want, or that they had the last game. Interesting that they did choose to take that Anduin early, given that Ana was already picked by Feigned Competence, though. Coming out with the Diablo and the Malthael. Infernal Shrines, another strong double soak map that Malthael does have a significant advantage on, especially being able to take camps in those downtimes solo. Does help out on this map quite a bit. It will be a Mephisto ban coming out from Caffeinated Knights, another nice strong map pick here on Infernal Shrines with everyone clumped in that shrine pit, being able to damage both the minions and the enemies who are all in one small area, similar to Kael'thas. So it looks like Caffeinated Knights want to make sure that they don't get bullied off of that shrine too easily. Feigned Competence looking for their third ban here on Infernal Shrines. It's going to be Garrosh. So once again, now the tank choke going in the other direction with Johanna, ETC, and now Garrosh and Diablo off the board. We'll see if maybe Caffeinated Knights has the chance to pick up that Mal'Ganis, or if they go with a different option here on Infernal Shrines. Anubarak is still open. Not the strongest hero in this current meta, but can aid and dive. It'll be a Rainer and actually a Varian coming out from Caffeinated Knights. Now, it's not clear if that Varian will be taunt just yet, because they do have a flex in that last spot, but we could have an interesting pick comp with Anduin Varian coming out. And a Junkrat and Orphea picked up by Feigned Competence. A very interesting duo here. Junkrat gonna do a good job of poking out these shrines, and it's actually gonna be a Tyrael for Caffeinated Knights. Interesting to see here if Varian, what spec Varian will be. We could see any of them here. With Tyrael on the front line, Varian doesn't necessarily have to go taunt, and with a limited number of stuns coming out on the side of Feigned Competence, Varian might be able to go something like Twin Blades here, but we will see in just a minute as we get into game number 2. Here we go. Alright, game 2, about to start up here, loading into Infernal Shrines. Oh, pause has been asked for. Is Mechaterial banned? Yes, that skin is banned. You're right. Restart. Let's see. Comps. Alright. So, the skin that we have chosen, not going to work out. A little bit of a misplay there, but that's okay. These things happen. We'll just remake this lobby, get a quick skin change, no big deal there. That's my first one of those. Very nicely caught there by Feigned Competence. Oopsie daisies, as I often say when I do something silly. Getting that lobby link built again. Yeah, we're just going to do a standard here.
Tremble before me.
Make sure our comps are good. We've got Greymane, Tyrael, Rainer, Varian, Anduin. We've got Orphea, Ana. Alright, looks good. Alright, looks good. There we go. Ready to go. Okay, Feigned Competence is ready. I'm ready. FK is ready. Oh, did I have to press the ready button? Oopsies. Alright. Let's try this again, shall we? Alright. Once again, loading into game number 2. Here we are on Infernal Shrines. On the left side, we have the team of Feigned Competence with Hyperbole on the Diablo. Jonah Fencer playing the Orphea. Captain Squiddy will be on Ana. Chef Steve on the Junkrat. And Beaver Hunter will be on the Malthael. On the right side, Caffeinated Knights. Saiyan CP9 on the Varian. Asmanthus will be playing the Tyrael. Vivanchi on Greymane, Ark will be playing Raynor, and Harborum will be on Anduin. Here we go on Infernal Shrines. No bottom lane cheese this game with a lack of Sylvanas, so both teams are going to meet in the middle. It looks like Feigned Competence is ready for any kind of shenanigans, with Malthael already going to the top lane and Diablo watching that rotation. Both teams trying to find each other right now as the waves begin to crash in the middle. As I bring up the talents for everybody. It's like Feigned Competence using that poke from Junkrat and wants nothing to do with Caffeinated Knights on this opening salvo. Diablo attempting to slow the rotations coming out from Caffeinated Knights, and it'll be Varian doing their best versus Malthael here in the top lane. Very quick rotations coming out here from Caffeinated Knights. They're going to control this center area with how quickly they're clearing these waves. Beaver Hunter coming out down here to catch this wave. Meanwhile, the rest of Feigned Competence making sure they get there. Very nicely done here by Beaver Hunter, making sure that no soak is lost. Varian searching for that Malthael. Greymane actually going to start that camp solo since Caffeinated Knights has control of these rotations. There'll be 3 people for Feigned Competence on that camp, and the rest of Caffeinated Knights making a very aggressive play onto this bottom siege camp right at the start of the game. And it looks like there will be no contest here from Feigned Competence, as Vivanchi possibly looking to engage here. Hyperbole pushing Tyrael into tower range, but manages to get out of there with only 10 armor lost. And Feigned Competence is going to have to work on clearing out siege camps in both lanes at the start of this game. Level 4 about to come in for Caffeinated Knights, but Feigned Competence not far behind on the experience game, as one tower did take damage here in the bottom lane. Hyperbole does get the push onto Tyrael once again, but the Sword of Eldruin was down and manages to warp on out of there. With all the camps taken, it looks like Caffeinated Knights is looking for an aggressive halt on this rotation, with Tyrael anchoring in this bush. Taking advantage of the faster wave clear, Osmanthus actually getting on out of there, realizing that the window for stopping that was gone, and just going up to catch that XP. It will actually be a Colossus Smash Varian, so they want to make sure that whoever they catch goes down without that taunt from Varian. But they do have the Anduin route and the Tyrael speed up for the team, so that negative armor will help them out. Both teams going for their respective shaman camps at the start of this objective. Caffeinated Knights taking it slightly earlier, giving a small advantage to Feigned Competence in where those camps will meet. Chef Steve actually getting caught out. Very nicely done there by Caffeinated Knights. So without Junkrat, they're going to have a tough time poking onto this shrine, though with Orphea, they will get a few minions here on the left side, but a large minion lead coming in for Caffeinated Knights. Looks like Feigned Competence is just making sure that they catch the XP, clearing that top shaman camp. Eventually, Caffeinated Knights will have to answer that, but first, they're going to clean up this shrine very quickly. Saiyan making sure that Beaver Hunter doesn't get any ideas, as this first Punisher is going to go over to the side of Caffeinated Knights. Now, Feigned Competence is going to hit level 7 slightly earlier, but now both teams here at level 7, they're actually going to split away from this Punisher, looking for possibly a kill onto this Malthael, but Malthael is wise to their scheme, staying mounted and close to their wall. Going to have a split push here with Varian soaking in the top lane, the Punisher already down, but looks like they just want to get this bottom wall in case the next Punisher is in that bottom lane. They want to make sure they have control over that area. They do only get one of the towers. Chef Steve going for the mine onto Vivanchi, but Vivanchi managing to back up in time as to not get blown into the base of Feigned Competence. Meanwhile, all camps are up, both teams working on their respective goatmen, making sure that they work for them and not the enemy team. Osmanthus moving across the map. They're going to be a little bit late. Looks like they might take this engage anyway. Junkrat Trap catching Osmanthus. Hyperbole not getting the stun onto Tyrael. and both teams will walk away scot-free. Varian bullying Malthael a little bit here in the top lane as both goat camps pushing in the mid. Malthael will go down to soak that. Hyperbole looking for Greymane, actually getting a nice push, but Greymane using a minion to jump onto an escape. Very well done, as Caffeinated Knights does create a little bit of space for this bottom camp, but not for long. Here comes Feigned Competence jumping onto this camp, committing. Once again, Greymane being pulled in, but manages to just squeeze out of there. How does he keep doing it? Big stun onto Greymane with another stun there. Oh, Orphea might have missed that, but Greymane ends up going down with the auto attacks from Orphea. Very nicely done, invading that camp and grabbing that advantage. A small experience lead coming out for Feigned Competence, as both teams have done a very nice job making sure those offlanes are soaked. With the one-player advantage, they're going to push into this wall, see what they can get done. With that camp there, they're going to get quite a bit of damage, but as their minion wave fades, they're going to have to back away from those towers. A battle to the death here from Varian and Malthael. That negative armor giving Malthael a bit of trouble up there as ult's coming out for Feigned Competence. Let's see if they can get anything done. They're going for a gank onto this Varian mid, but Varian manages to mount up and escape just in time, leading to no kill there. Level 10's coming out for Caffeinated Knights. Malthael and Varian back to work in the top lane as we have a bit of an engage here as Manthus going on to Hyperbole. No stun onto the Tyrael as he manages to wiggle away from that center column. So Feigned Competence having trouble finding those picks with Diablo. They do just have the one onto the Greymane, as we are going to get a top shrine. So those bottom walls going down ended up all being for naught until the third shrine after this one. Looks like Feigned Competence going to start their Shaman camp to make sure it's done and they can get onto the shrine. Whereas CK is using this time to get a small Shrine Guardian lead, not bothering with their camp for now. Here comes Feigned Competence after finishing that Shaman camp. They're going to have lane vision here, but almost halfway done is Caffeinated Knights as Hyperbole looking for a possible engage, flanking onto Osmanthus here. A huge... oh my goodness, a great Sanctification saves from the APOC combo along with Light Bomb. Captain Squiddy in a little bit of trouble. Arc gets hit by that last rites, and then Diablo's stun finishes him off, but the counter kill onto Malthael makes this a 4v4. Jonah Fencer getting crushed there by the Greymane. Very nicely done. Captain Squiddy in a bit of trouble with Ana going down, Vivanchi managing to escape. And it's going to be a 3-for-1 for Caffeinated Knights, as they have both Shrine Control and now a Hero Surplus. Hyperbole working on those Shrine Guardians as much as they can, but soon is going to have to back out. Hyperbole in a little bit of trouble here. Chef Steve manages to get saved by Diablo, a very nice stun. That combo from a Smash Variant might have been a little bit too much for that Junkrat, but a very nice wallbang coming out from Hyperbole. Meanwhile, Shrine Control and the Punisher going over to Caffeinated Knights as Raynor now starting that Shaman camp, making use of that level 1 talent Exterminator. Here comes the Punisher. It is a Frozen Punisher, so it's going to turn off these structures as it comes in. Unfortunately, the freeze did miss the fort, so it's going to start taking a lot of extra damage here. But now the freeze will turn off the fort, leaving Caffeinated Knights room to move in, and Jonah Fencer getting blown up by the Raynor. A lot of that initial damage coming out from Greymane, but a very nice bomb from Junkrat pushes Vivanchi out, and Harborim will have to use that light bomb to ensure his escape, as he was very deep in on Feigned Competence, but they do convert that kill onto Orphea. Once again, Caffeinated Knights is going to have to split off as their Punisher is ultimately destroyed before it gets to that keep. Malthael having a bit of trouble versus this Variant in the bottom lane. That negative armor from Colossus Smash really giving him some trouble, as Caffeinated Knights looking to advance onto the side of Feigned Competence and steal that Goatman camp. Very nicely timed, seeing that Feigned Competence was stuck in the top lane, and now that they have that, they're going to have space to move onto this bottom siege camp, while Feigned Competence is stuck clearing these Goatmen. May not get there in time to contest this bottom camp as it goes over to the side of Caffeinated Knights. Looks like Varian is looking to stop a possible rotation onto bottom. Let's see if Feigned Competence sniffs this out. Looks like Ana and Junkrat going the safe side. The team very smartly not going through that dangerous middle area. As Caffeinated Knights looks to push onto this fort and will get it. Hyperbole popping the Apocalypse, catching the Tyrael, but manages to get the Sanctification to save himself. Harbor him, getting hit by the last rites, but is not going to convert, and Beaver Hunter will go down for the trouble. Osmanthus very low here as Varian pushing onto the enemy team. Junkrat knocking him away. Ends up staying alive. Very nice control by the Junkrat there in that fight. But it will be Malthael going down to that pressure. Did not quite get that last rites. Very nice attempt though. With Curse Bullet missing, Hyperbole still at full health, so they're not going to get a lot of damage out there. Orphea doing their best to poke in. They're going to have to work on clearing this camp. Junkrat there to help out, of course. It looks like Caffeinated Knights looking to rotate aggressively onto the camp of Feigned Competence. Osmanthus anchoring in this bush along with Varian. Here comes Feigned Competence. Do they know that's coming? Osmanthus stopping them with the Holy Ground. Once again, Junkrat the target of Varian as... Oh no, Hyperbole takes the Curse Bullet. Is going to have to try to get out of there. Greymane going in and managing to convert the kill is Raynor with that long-range DPS. Junkrat looking for that counter kill possibly onto Anduin, but does not get it. And Caffeinated Knights successfully steals away this Shaman camp as the shrine is activating in about 15 seconds. Very nicely done, very nice anchoring in those bushes from Caffeinated Knights as Diablo is going to have a tough time clearing this solo. Ana and Orphea going up to help, meaning Caffeinated Knights will have another advantage on this starting shrine. Varian looking to possibly move on to Malthael. Malthael playing very safely there, knowing that Varian has been giving him some trouble. Both players just dancing around in this lane here. Feigned Competence, seeing that they are down level 16 to 15, is working on getting this experience. Malthael now has room to possibly pick up 16 for his team. And there it is. It'll be level 16 for Feigned Knights. Go for Feigned Competence, and there they go. They get it, but not in time to stop this shrine pressure coming out from Caffeinated Knights. It'll be an Arcane Punisher pushing down the middle lane. It does still have the fort, so we're going to see if Caffeinated Knights has the room to go onto this wall. Looks like Feigned Competence not worrying about stepping up. Probably a smart play, because this fort is going down very quickly. They're going to use that keep wall for their defense. It is going to be a 5-man defense as they bait the Punisher over the wall. Hyperion coming out. Tyrael actually getting bopped in, but using the Eldruin's Might to get on out of there. Punisher going down very quickly, and it looks like Caffeinated Knights is going to have to settle for the wall and get on out of there. One thing Feigned Competence has been doing very well here in this match is making sure that they keep their distance, that they get the Punisher down as quickly as possible, as we have it engaged here by Varian and Tyrael. Light Bomb coming out, stuns Feigned Competence. A lot of people very low. Diablo managing to get out, but Varian actually getting counter-killed along with Beaver Hunter. The Tyrael explosion will get Junkrat. Arc in a bit of trouble here coming out from Orphea. Hyperbole also low. Greymane trying to get that final kill and manages to convert it. Despite that fight starting very well for Feigned Competence, it will be 3 for 2 from Caffeinated Knights. A very nice turnaround from that Sanctification on Tyrael, and managing to get that Junkrat with the Death Drake means that Tyrael will be coming back a little bit faster than usual since that update. Feigned Competence now down to their last 3 keeps, while Caffeinated Knights still with their 6 structure advantage means that their experience is going to be coming in a lot quicker, and they're going to have some time at level 20. As we see the passive experience now spreading to a 3,000 point advantage, the hero experience very much in the favor of Caffeinated Knights, along with the mercenaries, as they have been stealing those camps away from the Feigned Competence team. Feigned Competence right now just doing their best to soak lanes as passively as they can. They know that Caffeinated Knights has been rotating very aggressively on their side of the map, so taking their rotations very seriously and going very safely. Meanwhile, as Manthus coming in from behind, he's a bit ahead of the rest of his team, but here they come. Orphea with the ult does stun out Anduin. Here comes Varian on top of Captain Squiddy. Captain Squiddy's coming out with 68 health remaining. Apocalypse coming out, not getting the connection that they want. Arc managing to escape the last rites from Malthael. Beaver Hunter's in a little bit of trouble as Greymane with the dive manages to convert onto Malthael. They turn their attention onto Hyperbole. Captain Squiddy playing fast and loose, gets blown up by the cocktail from Greymane. Almost managed to get out of there, doing their best to heal the team and get them out. Manages, but they do manage to get that kill onto Ana, and it looks like Caffeinated Knights will be going straight for the core with that 2-hero advantage. With no Ana and no Malthael, they're going to have a tough time with this Vivanchi. Oh, it's going to be the Sanctification still up. They're going to push down that core. But Greymane going down means that they're in a bit of trouble here. I don't know if they've got this. It'll be Tyrael and Varian both going down. Raynor doing his best to target the core. Anduin is going to throw those auto attacks on there. 2%, 1%, and it will go down by the skin of its teeth with a full team wipe from Feigned Competence. But unfortunately, just a second too late. Wow, what an end there from Caffeinated Knights, knowing exactly what they needed to do and how to get it done. Converting a 2-kill advantage into a core push pre-level 20. Very, very nicely done. As we see the score screen, the kills coming out fairly even as a lot of 2-3, 3-2 type fights, but the Shrine control definitely on the side of Caffeinated Knights that game. And we see Greymane, one of their most picked heroes, coming out with a whole lot of damage with that Tyrael and Anduin support, being able to stay in Worgen form and go for those dives a lot earlier than you might be able to on a Greymane normally. Junkrat with a ton of poke damage, but just couldn't get there, unfortunately.